Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mage,
And this is Vivan.
and today we're going to be bringing you an old school FML game. In the top corner here, we have PencilWarrior. Below him, we have Under.Sta. Below him, we have Fly. And then our last player is Target. So let's go ahead and go. And most of you probably recognize all of these players. PencilWarrior and Fly particularly are two of the best-known free-for-all players of all time. PencilWarrior obviously playing Undead as per usual, and Fly randomed Undead, I believe. Poor bastard. It happens, though. And then sandwiched between them, we have Under.Sta, a recognizable free-for-all name, although probably the least recognizable in this game. And then the last player, Target, is actually our FML Season 2 champion, for those of you that watched that game, and has the advantage of playing human in this match. So, Vivan, most people probably have not heard you cast before. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little introduction to yourself?
Hi. So, Vivan or Vivane, depending on which French and American accent pronunciation you want to use.
So, which one do you usually go by?
I got the name from a series of my favorite book series, and the character names are all French. So I like to personally say Vivan, but Vivane, either which way, people say is fine with me. I'd say I'd probably consider an old school player. Been playing since Reign of Chaos. I played one-on-one. Initially started the game with one-on-one, playing on both Asia and US servers, playing with some of the best players in the world. I did, and then I discovered free-for-all. Then I was taught by some of the great names, such as Inferno Rice, Shadow Soul. I'm an undead player from one-on-one, and had the great pleasure in what's the word I'm looking for? When it's respectable shit. What's the word I'm looking for?
Honor? I don't know.
Yes, there we go. Honor. Great honor to actually be trained a little bit by Lucifer.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
He still plays, and he's actually still streaming.
Yeah, he actually just won a tournament not too long ago.
Mm-hmm. He completed his mandatory military time, which, for those who are not aware, Korea has if you're a Korean citizen and you are male, there is a 2-year mandatory military service that you must complete at some point in your life. I was an American citizen. Well, I do dual citizenship, and I gave up my Korean citizenship, so I never did it. But before, when he was playing professionally, I would hang out on the Korean channels, and I had a couple of games where he practiced scrimmed against them, and he taught me a lot. I got my ass beat, of course, but he taught me a lot, and it was really cool to be able to just play against some of these pros and, still feel nice, even though you're getting your ass kicked. It's like, well, for a while, you're doing okay. You can, at least compete against them, have them teach you little things, and it's like night and day when you face, your top ladder people versus the actual pro players. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so good times, and discovered free for all, and I learned Orc, and Orc is OP. That's why I guess we get rushed all the time. Damn it.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm guessing you didn't play for a while. What brought you back to playing Warcraft, and when did you stop playing? When did you start playing again?
Let's see. So I played it pretty much from when it was released. Frozen Throne came out, continued to play. I quit probably 2008, I would say, 8, 9, something like that. And I haven't really touched it since, kind of lost interest. And actually, really out of the blue, I decided I was bored at work. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to see if I watch my old replays. Just out of pure boredom. I was talking to somebody about the game and kind of reminiscing about our old video games. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to watch my old replays. Let's just see what, now that I have not seen them in years,
Mm-hmm.
I decided to Google my old name, and because I knew I had some replays on Warcraft replays,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was completely surprised to find that the FML site was still up and running, and that was it Messiah Ishan mentioned me by name.
Yep.
There's a thread that's oh hey, post old players that you remember back in the day, or your top 5 players. Actually, it's odd that he named me as a random player, which I don't recall playing. Maybe extremely brief period, but he listed me as a notable player of the old school days. I was totally taken back. I had no idea that this is still running, and it happened to be a coincidence that season 20 of the FML was about to start. So I was like, you know what? I don't care if I haven't played this game in years and years. It'll be fun to play, and even if I get knocked out, which I did after 3 losses, it's still fun. But let's just see what it's like, and it's really cool to see that it's still going on. The play FFA with Ugri and the other guys who've been keeping it alive you guys have done a fantastic job of keeping this 10-plus-year-old game still in the works.
Yep. So I take it you have found Play Free for All, and are you still playing on the bot there at all?
I haven't actually played in like a month now, mostly because the game Path of Exile uh, came out. Like I signed up for that years ago, and the new season for it started, so I started playing that when the new season started. Haven't really touched Warcraft since. When the new season for FML starts, or for Play FFA, I believe in like the next couple of days actually,
That
is
could be,
where
yeah.
the site says season ending either between the 4th and the 7th.
Okay.
So yeah, the new season in the bot, the ladder resets. I'll probably ladder a little bit.
Yeah, well, that sounds good. So we can see in the game here, Target was the first person to get his expansion up and running. Fly actually right behind him, and Sta going to harass PencilWarrior a little bit. Pencil did go for the Dreadlord first. Interesting choice. Keep in mind this game is 5 years old actually, so there's probably quite a bit of balance difference going on between now and then. But even then, it looks like DK was the standard first choice here. But looks like Pencil able to pull off a surround there. Does get that ghoul taken out. Probably not going to be able to pull off a surround on the DK with all these archers back. And it'll be interesting to see how far Under.Sta wants to push this. Pencil does not have any towers in his base, and he is teching up. So this would be a good time for Under.Sta to push him if he wanted to. But it looks like Pencil's actually got a little bit of an upper hand in the micro right now. Down there below him, it does look like Fly and Target are peacefully coexisting at the moment. Target with the advantage of being able to expand out, maybe going for his second expansion as we speak. Started with the MK first, which I know back then Archmage was standard as well, but Mountain King a solid choice, especially against these undead players. Mountain King Paladin, obviously huge amounts of damage. So both PencilWarrior and Sta are going to be in a little bit of a disadvantage going into the upcoming tech. Tier 3 on its way, and it looks like it's going to be a Ancient of Lore continuing push right now. A little hard to tell what Sta's long-term plan is here, and we see the Alkalites coming in for a hopeful surround and just a little bit of extra damage against the Archer. We'll see if he can manage to take out the Demon Hunter, but it seems unlikely to me.
Oh, that Cloak of Shadows.
Who would have known? Most important unit in the game. Poor Dreadlord keeps getting burned to death.
Yeah, this is definitely, but like I said, it's definitely an old file or older replay, and it's interesting. I can't imagine. I don't remember strats being really all that much different. So it's interesting to see Under.Sta doing a. It's like a solo build. 1/1/1, one lore, one wind, one war. He's not gotten this. So he just got his panda. Okay, and tech to tier 3, so he's probably going to do Dryads? Interesting.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's just going for some ranged DPS at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pick up the Priestess of the Moon as his third hero, and then grab a few Chimera Roosts when he can. But he is really hurting himself economy-wise by continuing to push here. And Pencil's going to be a little bit mad and trying to take him out here. The one thing I have noticed is really slow creeping on the middle reds here. The creeping game has improved quite a bit since then, I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, I was about to say the same thing too. It's like, and now it's you get on this map. Everyone does the creeps natural. Then the immediate thing you go to as soon as you have a couple of units, take the middle. Even if you can kite out the ogre a little bit and just nuke it down, and even if you can't kill anything else, those big middle items are so huge. Especially if you can get something like
and Demon Hunter top right almost went down there. Sorry to interrupt, but Under.Sta pushed in and got his Demon Hunter surrounded. No staff on the Panda, so the Demon Hunter forced the TP out there. Fly missed his opportunity to go ahead and grab the big creep in the middle, and Target picked up the Claws plus 12, which is a damn good item on the Mountain King.
Interestingly, Fly's gotten Dreadlord second.
Yeah.
Which you don't see as often with a Fiend build.
No, and it makes me wonder if he's just going for hard gargoyles and wants to get the vampiric aura up quickly, or what exactly his plan is. But yeah, I mean, the Lich as second hero is just so much more valuable. I know even back then it was more valuable than the Dreadlord. We can see that the nuking power of Paladin, Mountain King, with the Mountain King being level 2 coming through, just taking down these fiends like a hot knife through butter. And here we go, Fly and Under.Sta going to engage as well. It'll be interesting to see if Under.Sta wants to piss off another player.
Nope, I don't think so. Yeah, Sta is definitely playing a solo build. dots, Dryads and Archers, and continuing pressure Pencil. Well, he does have 2 towers up.
Fly going for a Necro build, it looks like.
Whoa, triple temples. Interesting.
Yep. Do not see a Slaughterhouse going up, though, which would somewhat hamper that. And I'm just looking around. I don't see any Shredders on any of our players, do you? Staff of Silence, great item for Under.Sta there.
No. Silent Staff OP.
Yep, and then Django of Endurance, a good item for Fly as well. He's never going to be caught, which does not lend itself quite as well to Necromancers, to be honest, but you can't complain about getting it anywhere. And yeah, this is just really slow creeping, but I like the fact that Target's going off and creeping by himself, not getting any contested ones. He's got plenty of creeps on the side. The only downside to that is the item's not going to be quite as good as if he had managed to grab one of the middle ones early on. You can see Sta cross-map expanding here. Move that's kind of been faded out these days. Most people are not comfortable having an open expansion across the map, but back then it was pretty common for the middle players to be allowed to get an extra expansion across the map, nobody to harass it, just because they know that the only other option is rushing the other player out.
Yep. We do see a lot more aggression, a lot of continued aggression this day and age as well, is that you see a lot of players who are in the mid go, all right, you know what? I'm surrounded. Instead of playing the let's play the macro horde game and expand cross map, I'm just going to rush 80 food and rush my neighbor.
Yep, and the games turn into a throughway very, very quickly now. Obviously, not better, not worse, but there is a lot more aggression in games now than there was back then. You don't see a whole lot of peaceable playing these days. Sta does pick up a Pit Lord as his third hero, and Fly grabbed a Staff of Silence as his second item there. So great items drop for Fly right now. Interesting to see if Sta is just trying to grab a little extra experience here, or what his plan is exactly. But Panda's still a fair ways from level 3, which is what will really be the game changer for him.
Sta's already broken 60. Let's see.
Yeah, let's do a quick gold count on the players. We got 1,000 and 170 for Under.Sta, sitting at 60 food. Pencil's at 1,500 and 700, sitting at 50. Capped at 70, though, so not able to go up to 80 that quickly. Fly is at 1,200 and 200. He does have his Shredder now, and he's sitting at 50. And then Target at 2,330, sitting at 42, capped at 60. So Target having some huge lumber issues, but he is winning in the gold game at the moment. And Fly does pick up a Lich as his third hero, so sitting at 431, he's having pretty nice creeping day so far. Sta going over here trying to get that level 3 on his Panda, and assuming he gets this uninterrupted, I believe he should manage to do so. But it does look like Pencil deciding to go ahead and carry this grudge over. I was saying that he needed to be uninterrupted, and it looks like that is not going to happen. It'll be interesting to see if Pencil manages to get this expansion down before Sta TP's in here. Orb of Darkness, shitty item here. Doesn't even bother to grab it there. It does get a Panda. And TPing in, Pencil wisely backing up. Will lose at least one ghoul. We'll see if he is able to get out of here without losing anything else. And then a quick fight down in the bottom left between Fly and Target, thinking that's more just a happenstance run across him. Looks like Target wants no part of Fly at the moment. Ooh, Divine Shield goes off the Paladin. There is a Staff on the Mountain King, but good opportunity to take the Paladin down, and it does go down. Not worth trading off for a single Fiend, I don't think. Knight going down. Nope, TP's out of there. Staff's out of there, sorry. And it'll be interesting to see if Target manages to get out of here with his other Knight alive. Trying to take down that Death Knight, which seems unlikely, but Fly forced to TP out. Pencil cross map going ahead and continuing to harass expansions. TPing in is Sta. Pencil backing up here. Pencil probably wishing he had that Django of Endurance, since the Death Knight's aura not quite up to snuff with the Dryads yet, and going to continue to lose a few more units as he's running away.
Yeah, Django is like pretty much the best item in that pool. I can't really think of anything else that. Let's see. There's
Staff
claws.
of Silence.
Staff of Silence is good. Claws are good. Let's see. Staff, claws, Django. Those would be probably your top choices.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with Staff of Silence as my first go bout here, but Django of Endurance, absolutely huge item here, and especially in an undead. I mean, you get those two
Pike
stacking. Yep.
Too, I guess.
Especially for a non-human player. Fly does hit level 5 on his Death Knight, so he's got 5, 3, 1, and he is starting to pump out these Necromancers. He's at 70 food. Moving on to 80, it'll be interesting to see who he decides to take down. You presume he's going for target, but you never know. He could decide to hit into Sta, which would be really bad news for Sta with his current army composition. He's also having to deal with Pencil harassing him at the moment. Pencil sticking to 63 of 60, unable to go any higher, and if he loses any more of those ziggurats, he's going to be in even more trouble. Does have one more ziggurat being constructed as we speak, and a boneyard in the works as well.
It's interesting. Sta went. I didn't see what his second skill point is, because I saw rain of fire. I would assume he probably didn't go cleave.
Nah, it's got to be Howl.
It's got to be Howl, yeah. So Howl fire.
It would be really odd if he did go cleave.
Best passive in the game. I did see a slightly left off topic, but on the topic of rain of fire.
Of course.
There's a strategy I took from Mad Frog when he was in Korea, and he went Panda, Pit Lord. No, excuse me, Dreadlord, Pit Lord, Panda against a human player as an undead.
Mm-hmm.
He bought Boots of Speed, Staff of Teleportation. Oh, we got a fight breaking out.
Yep.
Demon Hunter dropping low, but he's got his invulnerability potion. Pencil needs some destroyers, but he's doing really well, surprisingly. Because Panda is not level 3 yet.
Panda not level 3, and Pencil actually known for being a very impressive microer as well. I don't know that much about Sta, but I do not believe that was his biggest forte. And the Panda looks like it is... just gets out.
Oh, he called his gargle by accident instead. Misclick there.
Fly going ahead and trying to get it on with Target. The other thing I forgot about Target until right now, he is very well known for just massing towers. I really don't love to see that. Looks like Pencil going to continue to harass, maybe. He does have a disadvantage right now. He's the only player... Actually, no, Target has one expansion as well somehow. I don't know why. But we can see that both Fly putting up his second expansion and Sta has the second expansion up. Both of those should gain a significant advantage. And interesting that the two players with two expansions are our players in the middle. Now it looks like Sta's going to be forced to defend this again. Last fight definitely did not go that well for him. We'll see if he actually TPs in here. Looks like he's going to try and repair, giving himself time, but Dreadlord goes in and takes out those Wisps early on, and Sta not going to be able to survive that, I don't believe. He is putting up another expansion back here. We'll see if that gets scouted or not. Pencil has not scouted, I don't believe. Switching over to his vision for a moment. Nope. So Pencil has no idea that other expansion is going up, which means he'll probably try and hit Sta. Sta moving towards Pencil's expansion as we speak, though, with 82 food. However, very low on both food, wood, and gold. And then bottom left, we do have a fight between Fly and Target. Looks like the Knight's not faring that well against Necromancers, or more likely not faring that well against the undead heroes. And then Sta quickly coming in and wrecking the Ziggurats here. We could see Pencil get food locked again.
Interesting that Target doesn't have a third hero.
Target actually does not go for his third hero a lot of the time.
Interesting.
At least from the few games I've seen. Maybe those have just been anomalies, but I remember cursing at him to get a third hero several times last game. And Panda does hit level 3 here. We'll see if that is the game changer. Pencil, the only player, or one of the two players without a Staff of Silence, could probably use an investment in one in the middle, but he is nuking down that Panda, and it does go down, so that could be a fight changer for him right there. Pencil goes and sends the Gargoyles into stone form. He is having that Death Knight get very low and may have to TP out momentarily. Doesn't have a TP, though. Death Knight does go down there. That could be a bad news for Pencil. Pencil only has a TP on has a TP on both the Dreadlord and the Lich. Not sure why he didn't want to put one on the Death Knight. Flipping back over here, we can see Target's Mountain King getting very low at the moment. Bunch of harassing done to Fly's expansion, but Fly able to defend it rather easily. The only problem for Fly, not currently able to do any damage into Target's guard towers. We can see Sta here continuing to pressure PencilWarrior, taking down this Ziggurat. Pencil may be in bad shape right now. He's got 50 food, pumping up at only 500 gold to do so.
Yeah, he's definitely been on the back burner since the early attacks of Sta. And getting food blocked is never fun.
Yeah, the only thing that may help him out here is he is not going to be facing the Panda in whatever fight this is. And Fly looking very low here on the Death Knight. Target forced to TP out with that Mountain King, so Target going for a heavy gyrocopter army while Fly just trying to keep that Death Knight alive for a little while longer. Sta choosing not to push into PencilWarrior's base, perhaps a good choice here. Wait for that Panda to get back out. Surprised that we've not really seen heavy concentration of Chippo. Really not very many Hippogriffs to match up with the Chimeras at the moment.
He does have 2 lords down. He is building them, but it's definitely also hurting on resources. He's only got 1 expansion as well.
Yeah, he's got his second expansion up, but it is being harassed by PencilWarrior as we speak. So he's either going to be forced to burn a TP to go defend it, or he's going to lose it and lose all the investment of the Wisps and that such thing. Target doing a pretty nice job here of splitting up his army and harassing both bases. Fly obviously winning these fights when he's actually getting them, but being forced to try and fight a 2-front war, not what you want to do when you have a Necrowagon army that's not able to move very quickly. And we could see him lose his Black Citadel here if he's not careful, but looks like he'll be fine on that front. We can see that Sta coming in and just really taking out these Ziggurats, guessing that he's going to get food blocked before too long, and this could be the game over here for PencilWarrior if he's not careful. We'll see. Panda is incoming right now. PencilWarrior is at 3-2 upgrades on his gargoyles, so Panda won't be able to one-shot them or anything, but can certainly do a lot of damage, and if Raid of Fire comes down as well, then if Pencil's not careful, these will be game over gargoyles. It's only 64 mana, though, not able to get off that last Breath of Fire.
Ooh, but Rain of Fire hitting everything.
Yep.
Haze.
And coming right back in here, the Pit Lord doing so much damage to these gargoyles. At the moment, we do see the Dreadlord go down as well. Pit Lord hits level 4, doing some damage to its own gargoyles, own chimeras at the moment. Lich very, very low here. No coil on the Death Knight, and that's going to be GG for PencilWarrior. So Fly down here does force the TP from target. And PencilWarrior at the moment just trying to keep surviving a little bit, but each little bit is just feeding up. We're going to see the Demon Hunter hit level 6 soon, and it should be an interesting 3-way after that.
Yeah, Fly's doing decent job protecting his expansions, but he had 0 gold with all his acolytes, constantly trying to repair.
And Target in a much better position here with 1,000, 2,600. And sitting at 70. The Flying Machine's doing quite a bit of damage to Fly just because Fly is never able to actually pin them down and fight. And Fly not able to take the fight into Target's base either. So this may be a good opportunity for Fly once PencilWarrior leaves the game to 2v1 Target, or at least to get a little bit off his back. Under.Sta loses that upcoming expansion, does not have the Wisp cancel it, so loses a lot of valuable gold in that.
I just realized Target has nothing but a barracks and workshops. No aviaries or anything else.
I mean, do you really need anything else? You just build tanks and it's game over. Fly forced to TP in yet again here and try and do some damage. Does manage to take down at least a couple of these flying machines, but again, he can't do enough damage to really justify that TP. The only thing justifying it is saving the Acolytes, making sure that the Ziggurats don't go down. Fly is sitting at 50 though, and should be able to get some good gold out of this while defending, if nothing else. Can see that Pencil has another expansion going up, continuing to do good amount of damage to Under.Sta, although Sta probably appreciating Pencil actually staying in the game so that he doesn't get 2v1'd. And here we see target tanks incoming to Fly's base. I'm not sure how Fly is going to deal with this, sitting at 50. He's really going to have to hope that the tanks have bad pathing right now, but this is not good news at all for Fly. Fortunately, only one armor upgrade on the siege engines at the moment.
So he's got... Oh, he doesn't have a meat wagon for necromancers.
No, I think that not earlier. Paladin is very low. Paladin. Ooh, nice staff.
Paladin.
At the moment,
oh, nice staff.
Mountain King is forced to TP out here. We'll lose at least one siege engine, and the Ziggurat gets saved at the last moment. And Fly aggressively going for yet another expansion. So Good choice by Fly to just keep expanding, I think. When you're facing these harassments by flying machines, if you put up a couple of towers, then those should be able to hold them off relatively well, at least. Alright, so at this point in the game, who would you say has the advantage, and who are you predicting is going to go ahead and win this? I think this one, it's safe to say, PencilWarrior probably not going to be the ultimate victor here, although weirder things have happened.
Probably Sta. He's in the best situation currently. He has decent stockpile of gold. He has Pencil's old base to work with, 2 mines with still a great deal of gold left in them, almost 10,000 in the natural, 7,300 in the main, and the other 2 are just trying to duke it out, and he's just kind of going to be left alone in this 3-way if Fly doesn't pretty much starts talking, saying, "Hey, I've got nothing. We need to hit Mr. Human here."
Oof, Mountain
Maybe
King down.
Mountain King.
Yeah, this could be bad news for Target right now. Fly did actually try and piece Target, but Target did not reply. And good amount of damage being done to the Ziggurats, but a lot of units going down right now for Target. The sleep pretty much a constant on the Paladin. Doesn't have any units that can manage to take it out here. And Divine Shield, there we go, does go up just in time now. But yeah, I'd agree with you at the moment. I think that Sta's in great position. Also, his heroes are fantastic against both of these armies. I mean, Demon Hunter and Metamorphosis is just a complete tank. And then you get 2... area of effect spells with the Panda and Pit Lord. Both of those are going to be great against tanks and towers, as well as whatever undead army Fly tries to field against them. And there we go. PencilWarrior is defeated, so it's now a 3-way. We'll see if our players realign their alliances right now, or if the 1v1 continues while Sta stockpiles gold.
Sta really needs a shredder there. He's been at low wood pretty much all game, and surprised he's not gotten one yet. He's got 2 wisps on wood, that's it.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, not really kind of the moment, because I'm watching these tanks come in and thinking this is going to be really bad news for Fly. But he does come out, aggressively meets it, and for those of you wondering how undead counters tanks, the answer is you don't. But what you can do is come out and make sure that the tanks don't get into your base.
You pretty much need a level 6 Dreadlord and try to like fight off tanks within your base, because yes, you can beat up an army with your typically your air army, but oh look, you just made him TP, but you have no base now. Awesome.
Yep, and Fly trying to confirm that Pencil has left the game, and maybe they should stop fighting, and Target should be helpful here. So I think Dreadlord should hit level 5 after this, and we should have 5-5-3. Good heroes for Fly, although, again, still not able to really do all that much with his army. Sitting at 58, though. Really not a great choice to be in. Not a great position to be in. But trying to commit a nip against Under.Sta, which would be a wise choice at the moment with 6-4-4 heroes. There we go. We do see him TP back in, though, because Target is on the way to the base. And again, Target pretty one-track mind about taking down Fly, it looks like.
Paladin's low, though, with only a level 1 Divine Shield. He'll probably be needing to TP soon.
Yeah, it'll be a question of how much damage can the tanks do. Target not doing a very good job of... Actually, Paladin, almost looks like it's going to go down there. Not doing a good job of picking out what he's going to be fighting. However, we do see he is doing a nice job of splitting up his army. Mountain King should go ahead and TP out now. He'll be able to get the Necropolis down. And there we go. We do see the TP off here. Let's see if he can take down any of the tanks. Nope, doesn't get any of the tanks at that one. So, the frustrating part of trying to fight a split army like this.
Yep, and you're going to be constantly spending gold on TPs, and those things aren't cheap.
No, they're not. And interesting, as he pointed out, Sta having major lumber issues. He only has 3-2 upgrades on his units right now. Which, well, he just did get 3-3, okay. But still, very late to hit that third armor upgrade, especially when you're the one being left alone to do whatever you'd like to.
Mm-hmm. And he's got he's definitely hoarding. So we're at 6,000 gold, just hoarding at 80. And pretty much content to just let the other two players just duke it out and until they exhaust their gold supplies. Target's already down 600 gold in his natural, and his main 6,000.
Yeah, he has not gone shopping for items, though, which somewhat surprised about. You can see Fly has nicely stacked his heroes here. With Target having all this gold, you'd think he'd go pick up some Django's of Endurance or Pipe in the middle. He's got a lot of space on his Pit Lord, and there are a bunch of items that could really do quite a bit of help for his army.
Mm-hmm.
And Fly may lose this meat wagon to the towers, which would be unfortunate. Nope, just safely gets away.
There we go. Smart placement of the shade there by Fly, so you can pretty much see it instantly whenever a tank push is coming. Immediately preemptively TP. That way he's not TPing while Target's tanks are already in his base, and you've already lost 5+ seconds of tanks beating down your main.
Yep. Nice job by Sta here, going ahead and attacking Fly. He knows that Target is very, very committed to taking out Fly for whatever reason that may be. And Fly is a smart enough player that if Sta actually attacked Target, Fly would be able to put the grudge aside and 2v1 Sta. In this case, Sta's coming in, cleaning up Fly, who doesn't have very much left, and then will be able to take that 1v1 against Target, which he should be in good position to do.
Yep. And Undead is easier to take out than a human, because a human obviously still has tanks, no mass TP, but it's still really annoying. It's annoying for any race to fight against a human who can send just a tank or two at your expansion. They got their main force in your main base, and you gotta split your attention, and the more they can do that, the more you might get frazzled and annoyed and make micro mistakes and put you on tilt. So probably the smart choice here for Sta to take on the weaker of the two, which definitely is currently Fly.
Yeah, the only thing that you'd be worried about is if Sta doesn't know how to deal with the tanks, but he should be in position, so he's able to do that. And actually, no, he's going to go ahead and hit Target as well. So, do not agree with the decision to go ahead and hit both the players, although you can see the tanks here left in a very juicy position for Sta. You got to hope that Fly is annoyed enough to Target to continue hitting him, and then Sta can try and take out Target. Huge breath of fire there. That's going to be the fourth tank going down, and that'll hurt Target.
Yep. Let's see. Looking at Sta's vision, he does not know that there's an expansion to the 9 o'clock position, but he'll be discovering it shortly here. Yes,
and there he does. So he is almost asking for a 2v1 at this point, though. I'm surprised that he's hitting both of these players. He can probably take them 2v1, honestly, and it may be a more interesting game that way, but it does not seem that wise to try and antagonize both of the players.
Yeah, I think his reasoning is, I would say it's probably overall the correct thing to do, just because since he's got all these top mines, he knows that both Target and Fly, they must be running low on gold. So by having all these top expansions, you can play the 2v1 game and pretty much take him out before they can rebuild it, because if you take out their main, you'll need to rebuild everything, but when you have no gold, only 2,000, that's kind of a moot point.
I don't know. I think purposely putting yourself in a position where you could be 2v1 is never a good idea. Just follow through on one of the players and take him out.
True, you should, on Nest, I know that probably is better. Just go straight down, completely take out Fly, and then turn his attention.
I mean, Fly was not far from dying there. Also, really kind of a waste taking down all these towers. I suppose he has to do it at some point, but it's not like they were actually protecting any gold there. Unfortunately, does not have a Keeper of the Grove for Tranquility, so going to take a while for everything to heal back up for him.
That's like the most broken combo, by the way. Keeper of the Grove, Dark Ranger, and Panda.
Yep, that's Rectify actually standardized that about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and
Yep.
pretty much every Night Elf goes it now.
So OP. Dark Ranger for silence, charms your units. Keep the Grove is also there for against another level of defense against hit and run. And we got a massive heal and Panda.
Yep.
Hmm.
You want to know what's even more fun, though? On a map like this, when the Panda picks up the Staff of Silence as well, so you're pretty much perma-silenced.
Yeah, I did that. I bought 2 Staffs of Silences, and I was playing. I forgot who was playing, but they were just raging so hard. I think it was Orc Mare, and I just perma-silenced his heroes, and he was just so angry. I was like, dude, it's you can buy them items too.
It is
And it's like
very annoying to deal with.
Yeah, and like in theory, you're like, okay, he has a silence. I'm going to spread out my Spirit Walkers or my other units that can dispel, and that way I'm going to try to get at least one unit that can dispel. But you can say that in theory all you want, but in practice, when you hit your control unit to move units, they can clump up, especially if they're casters, and it's such pain. So stop making yet more expansion. He's got every mine on the map. Oh dear.
He does not have very much wood, though. 10k, 200 wood. We can see maybe Renault decided to take after Under.Sta. Maybe he was like the mentor or something. Yeah, I am really enjoying the fact that Fly realizes that Target is just being a dick, realizes they should be teaming Sta, complains about it in chat, and yet continues to hit Target. He clearly knows the game's not going to be going in his favor regardless of what's happening.
Yeah.
And here we go. We see the not very often used Glaive throwers come out here. We'll see if he manages to lose them all to splash damage from Chimeras. Nope. So, Sta doing a nice job of actually keeping these out of the way. He's somewhat lucky that Target doesn't have any other units around to try and harass them, and no Griffins mixed in with the army since he decided not to build any... Yeah, he still doesn't have any Griffin aviaries. Maybe they weren't invented yet in this patch. Well, not a whole lot more interesting in this game that we can make it. So, maybe we'll have a quick fight between Fly and Sta. That'd be amusing. Fly actually with pretty good heroes to combat this army right now. 3 heroes should be able to do a decent bit of damage. There is no stun or entangle. There is a silence on the Panda there. Forgot about that. So we'll see if he actually uses it. So I'm not sure I've seen any of our players use their... There we go. Does go ahead and pop it off. Yep. So see if I just complain about it or maybe pay attention. It does get used. And in fact, there goes the Silent Staff right back at Under.Sta. So both the Dreadlord and the Lich getting low here. We do see that the Death Knight is silenced at the moment, but with all the aura going on, should be able to get away there. And let's see, does heal up the Death Knight. That's going to leave the Lich very low. Is there going to be a... Yep. Down goes that Lich. Burned by having Yep. Burned by having a little too much mana there. Sta's Glaives are going down in the meantime. The target apparently does not want to roll over and just have it die. And for what it's worth, other expansions are being harassed, but I don't think it's really worth anything. So we're going to see the Black Citadel go down momentarily. And probably see Fly go ahead and unsummon before too long.
Fly says I'll help you against the towers. And in a bid to have him to get Under to not attack him, but he's like, yeah, no, go ahead, kill the towers for me. In the meanwhile, I'm going to continue to destroy your base. There's practicality right there.
Yeah, solid gambit. We do see Fly completely back alive here, must have taverned his heroes, and we'll see if the Paladin is able, or Panda, excuse me, is able to survive. Does have a potion of lesser invulnerability, pops that off a little bit later than he should have probably, but... There you go, TP's out, and Fly going back to go ahead and attack target. Because, that's what you do, is you ignore the person that's winning and taking down your base to go suicide the person that suicided you earlier. So, back when you were playing Free For All, was FML around then, and do you remember what seasons it was?
I believe I quit. I know FML was created, but I believe I quit right about season 1 when it started up happening. Season 1 or 2, when it was kind of going on, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's like, it's becoming an official thing. But right about then, I really kind of stopped playing. That's also when I had been moving to. I had just moved to Chicago, and I was doing a lot of moving around, getting settled in, and so it kind of was put on the back burner. But so that's why I was so surprised when it came back and it was around, that it was still around, because I do recall when it first started.
Yep.
Then it registered on my old name, which I have no idea if it still exists. Probably does, but never really did anything with it.
Yeah, and we've actually gone through several different websites since then, so your old name probably does not exist anymore, unfortunately. And just for posterity's sake, we can see there's a bunch of harassing going on between different units here. But not all that interesting, since we know this is going to be over for too long, hopefully. But yeah, so for point of reference, this is right after the 3rd season of FML, I believe, which Mog and I will go ahead and cast at some point. This is probably in the 2008 or 2009 range, when all these players were at their peak. They'd actually started playing FML, since to begin with, most players did not join FML since it was perhaps not set up in the best possible manner. There's some abuse, and really Nublex was the only current free-for-all legend to join Season 1. But after he joined and started playing more, a lot of the other players started playing as well.
Okay, gotcha.
Let's see here. So let's see, have you been keeping up with the current FML season at all? And how'd you do in your matches? I actually did not pay any attention.
I lost all 3. The first one, I kind of was on tilt for those, actually. It's I'm a little bit disappointed. So the first game I played, I was heavily on tilt, and I was like, who was I playing? Human players. I know Ostone was in it. Shoot. A couple other big human player names. I got rushed out early by Griffins as Orc on Deadlock. Did very poorly there. Game 2 was a possibility for a win if HTRT didn't disconnect, but once he did, I thought I played it. That one I did a lot better. I laid a couple of really, I thought, pretty well done and clever traps against Alien, because I'd bait with my TC. I put down a stasis trap, bait with my TC, have him chase me, pull back a little bit, let the stasis trap go off on all his units, rush the TC forward, and then stomp for 12 seconds of stun, and every single time he'd have to get TP'd out. I could have won it in the end if I did a little bit of hit and run, but I was like, you know what, fuck it. I was man fight, and Alien got the win.
Okay. Game
3, I should have picked Undead, because it was 3 orcs against, with DV as the one undead. And so if I knew he liked to go dark, if I thought about it more logically, clearly back then I should have picked undead, because with the triple orc setup, he's free to go dark, Death Knight, Lich, and Dark Ranger for silence.
Yeah.
And that's a huge disadvantage against another undead, because obviously you want sleep. Because obviously undead has the one magic immune flying unit, and you can dispel with that. So even if you silence, that's just another second or two of micro, and it's useless. So the Death Knight, your classic Death Knight, Lich, Dreadlord is far superior against an undead who goes Death Knight, Lich, and Dark Ranger. So I should have gone undead, which is still a great race for death rows. But I decided I was lured a little bit too much by the mana fountain and orc caster is so good.
Yeah, I mean Death Rows is an orc map, so understandable.
He did get a Infernal Stone and rushed me out with very quick tier 3 fiends, Lich with an orb, and pretty much pushed in that 15-minute mark where orc is just about to get his casters ready, but the undead has a much superior tier 2.5 army to take you out.
Yeah.
Plus Infernal Stone, I just got owned. So taking out very quickly. I said, you know what? Well, GG, whatever. So, was fun. Definitely enjoyed the bot games a lot. Well, kind of sometimes enjoy the bot games, because it's really frustrating when you get people in those let's say it's 8-player Market Square. and you have some asshole who peasant rushes you with the first 3 peasants he makes as an undead and just builds towers in your base. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, I can't do anything. I absolutely cannot do anything because he's 3 peasant rushing. So shit like that happens, but other than that, overall, I think the bot grades are fantastic. They definitely bring out, and it's great that they're multi realm. I think that's the beauty of it, is that so you can play with your friends, from Europe or Asia, get them interested in the games, and since it's on, a bot land type setting, most people don't have too much lag, which is great.
Yep, absolutely. So, game ended as we kind of predicted it would. We could see from the scores that pretty close between Fly and Target, the two that are battling it out the entire time, but Sta does pick up the top score and pretty much everything across the board. Overall, I'd say Sta played the best. I mean, he was the one to actually kill his opponent, but was kind of handed a free win when Fly and Target decided to suicide each other. A little bit of a disappointing game with the cast. I'd not actually seen it before, and just figured that it was a bunch of old school legends. It'd be a lot of fun to watch. Really entertaining early game, but the last 15 minutes, as many free-for-all games do, a little bit predictable, a little bit boring. So, do you have anything else you want to add to this?
No, but I think that's about it. You can definitely see some interesting changes, because I definitely was like, wait a minute, you get Tavern Revived. They have full mana, full HP. Or, well, at least full HP, and that's, of course, one of the changes that they did make. So it's fun to see, kind of like, definitely noticeable
The patch changes and stuff, yeah. And, I mean, some strategy changes as well. Part of it is just the evolution of the game as it goes along, and part of it is players just getting better. Since people talk about this being the golden age of free-for-all, but I certainly think that today's players are more refined and more polished than the players back then were. Perhaps it's not as entertaining just because the overall skill level is so close between the top players now, but it's a matter of personal taste. So let's see. Do you actually have a Twitch channel and a YouTube channel that we can plug?
Yes, I do. I do have my Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Vyvanne, Vyvanne. Usually for streaming wise, I haven't really streamed since Sim stopped playing Warcraft 3, just because PoE is fun, but I got most of my viewers through Warcraft. I think it's a much more entertaining game to stream, and I know I can talk more about it. PoE, I'm just running around farming shit. It's it's an action RPG type game, so it's not nearly as fun. But yep, when I do plays at Warcraft, I'm definitely trying to stream it as much as possible, try to talk about what I'm doing, my strategies, my thoughts of the game, etc. Chat with viewers.
Yeah, and you can bug him on freeforallmasters.net. His username there is Vivian as well, so if you want to send him a message or something, let him know he should come back to playing Warcraft, then please go ahead and do so. Thank you all for watching. We're going to go ahead and stream another game after this, but if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to go ahead and click to subscribe. Make sure you check out Vivian's stream when he's on. Follow him there, and thank you all for watching. This is Mage.
And this is Vivian.
And we'll catch you later.